Hey guys, what's up? This is Marco from Nerd Boys Comic Blog, and today I'll be doing a Comics Overhaul episode on Nightwing, The New Order issue number 1, written by Kyle Higgins with art by Trevor McCarthy. Nightwing, The New Order takes place in the year 2040. It's an Elseworld story in which Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, is the leader of the Crusaders, a group organized to suppress, contain, and imprison metahumans with superpowers. Now right now you might be having flashbacks to Secret Empire and Steve Rogers' turn to villainy at the hands of Hydra, and Nightwing turning into a villain sounds like the most ridiculous plot for an Elseworld story, but the first issue does give you a sense of like his motivations of why he's done this. He's done this to protect his son. He's trying to make a better world for his son. 12 years prior to this event, there must have been some kind of metahuman fight in which Nightwing was given the impossible choice to activate this device that would neutralize and in some cases kill metahumans. And this might be spurred on by the loss of Batman in this universe, because it is stated that Batman was killed off. So without the guidance of Bruce Wayne, maybe Nightwing has kind of lost his way. So the first issue does kind of give you a feeling of this is a different Nightwing, a much older Nightwing, and one who's a father as well. But he still hasn't lost that Dick Grayson charm. And it's refreshing to see Kyle Higgins back on Nightwing after he left DC during the New 52 and Tim Seeley jumped onto the book. I haven't read much of Tim Seeley's Grayson and Nightwing stories. He is kind of a friend of a friend, and I would recommend reading Nightwing because from all accounts I've heard, it's actually a pretty good book. But to have Kyle Higgins back writing Nightwing and writing an older version of Dick Grayson in this kind of dystopian future in which metahumans are imprisoned and captured and kind of being suppressed using drugs. It's a common trope in comic books to see a hero turn bad in all these Elseworld stories or what-if stories or alternate universe stories like Superman Red Son, but you can still see a lot of Dick Grayson in this book. A lot of his characteristics do come out. It's just now he's on the wrong side of the issue. But at the same time, it makes you question whether or not this is the wrong side. Are there any sides at all, or is it just gray? It's not black and white. And like I said before, it's a pretty good first issue. It gives you a great setup for the story to come forward, and it's only going to be a 6-issue miniseries. So if you're interested in Nightwing, if you're interested in the Bat family or Elseworld stories in general, you should definitely check it out. It's something I think is worth picking up. I do hope that DC comes back to do more Elseworld stories sooner rather than later, and this is definitely a step in the right direction. I think this is the first Elseworld story to take place around the time of Rebirth, even though this isn't part of Rebirth. Now moving on to something I kind of thought I wouldn't really get into. Generations. Yeah, I am reading this is the first Generations issue that I picked up. It's the Wolverine one. This is Generations The Best with all new Wolverine, X-23, and Wolverine James Howlett. And I have to say, yeah, I was kind of right in my assumption that Generation stories were just there to elevate and make the new generation of heroes seem a lot better than the old generation. But this story seems a little bit different. It's got X-23 going back in time to help Wolverine on a mission, and they're fighting ninjas. What's cooler than two Wolverines fighting ninjas, right? And I've always liked Wolverine, the classic Wolverine fighting in Japan. It's always a cool image for me. But now to see X-23 and Wolverine teaming up in ninja battles, it's pretty fun. This one I think has to be like the most genuine out of all the Generations titles so far, because it's Wolverine teaming up with X-23. Occasionally there's some monologue from Wolverine in which he says X-23, oh, she's so much better than me, she's a surgeon with her claws. But there are some bonding moments between the two, and this is a time displaced X-23 encountering a past version of Wolverine, so he has no idea who she is. But by the end of the issue, he kind of picks up on what's going on and realizes that this might be his daughter, or that this is his daughter. And I think I would have enjoyed this issue way more if it pointed out the strengths and weaknesses of both Wolverines. If X-23 thought everything through and was more tactical and was more precise with her movements, while Wolverine was just a berserker rage, and sometimes X-23 might need to rely on her berserker rage more. If there was a lesson learned between the two of how they should adapt each other's fighting styles, that would have been pretty interesting, but it just was like, in and out, quick mission, fighting Sabretooth at the end, pretty fun. A little bit of an emotional moment at the end. So I'd say so far out of all the Generations issues, this is the one that I was kind of the most interested in, just because I like the whole Wolverine X-23 dynamic, and I probably won't pick up another issue of Generations until Spider-Man. I'm kind of interested in the Riri Williams and Tony Stark issue, because in that one it does have Tony Stark as the Sorcerer Supreme, and it's a fun idea to have this tech wizard Tony Stark actually becoming a real wizard and becoming the Sorcerer Supreme of our dimension. So I might check that one out. I might kind of skip out on all the other ones. Maybe Captain America. And by the way, I did finish Secret Empire this week. Secret Empire number 10, which explains why everyone's doing the whole Generations thing, the vanishing point, in which Kubrick kind of sends all the legacy heroes either forward in time or back in time to interact with their older counterparts. You have Amadeus Cho interacting with the Incredible Hulk. You have Riri Williams interacting with the Invincible Iron Man, Tony Stark. You have Falcon and Captain America teaming up again. You have Miles Morales and Peter Parker teaming up. All stories that like really should have a lot more emotional attachment to them, but they all feel like they're probably just gonna elevate the new heroes, and it's gonna be trying to convince comic readers that like, no, the new characters are everything the old characters were, but better. So you might want to check out these new characters because they're not going away anytime soon, and the old characters are probably it's gonna take a little bit longer for the old characters to get their titles back. But hey, that's going to be it for this episode of Comics Overhaul. I'm Marco from Nerdboy's Comic Blog, and I hope to see you guys next time. And hopefully next time we'll be talking about Secret Empire in its entirety. I will be reviewing and recapping and discussing the entire 12-issue thing with Charles. The Omega issue is about to come out, and he has not read a single issue of Secret Empire, so I'm interested to see what Charles's reaction to the whole thing is going to be. Whether he hates it, loves it, he'll probably not like it at all. There might be a few moments here and there where he might actually enjoy it, but overall the book was really disappointing, and I'm going to get into that next week with Charles. But hey, if you like this video and you want to see more from us, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, I'm Marco, and I'll see you guys next time.